high definition. Your breaking news and weather authority. This is WITN News at 6.
The Highway Patrol is calling it a miracle that anyone survived a head-on crash involving 3 vehicles.
One person was killed, 2 others were sent to the hospital. Alize Prosy is live in Lenoir County, near where that accident happened, and closed down that road for much of the day. Alize.
Hey there, Dave and Lynette. Well, 258 South was shut down for nearly 5.5 hours today as emergency workers worked to clear that horrible crash. A dump truck towing a bulldozer, an unrecognizable car, and a small pickup truck with a missing roof are smashed along Highway 258 south of Kinston.
Both vehicles were pinned underneath the dump truck.
Dozens of emergency workers rushed to the scene at about 8:30 this morning.
We immediately knew we had one fatality as soon as we got here, and we had one guy pinned in under the truck that was under the dump truck. So we had to get a big wrecker to pick that dump truck up so we could get to him. We couldn't even get to him and cut him out. It took us approximately 2 hours to cut him out.
Troopers say the dump truck was heading south on 258 when the car going north crossed the center line and hit it head on. The dump truck jackknifed and went into the opposite lane into the ditch. That's when the pickup truck that was also heading north ran under the back of the dump truck.
That vehicle, you could tell, tried to run off the road to avoid the collision but still got collected in it.
The driver of the car was killed. The 2 others were hurt. Highway Patrol says the driver of the pickup was incredibly lucky.
If you look at the damage of the vehicle and considering that he was conscious and alert and responding, I believe one of the officers actually interviewed him prior to him being flown out, so it's very miraculous.
He was airlifted to WITN in Pitt County.
He talked to us the entire time. We did sedate him a little bit at the end. He was pretty upset. His injuries, he had a broke leg. Other injuries, I'm not sure, but he was hurt pretty bad.
Well, the driver of the tow truck was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance. The Highway Patrol has not yet released the names of the victim. They're still waiting to notify next of kin. Reporting live in Lenoir County, Alize Prosy, WITN News.
All right, thanks so much, Alize. Well, the Highway Patrol says it is still investigating the crash to try and determine why the driver who was killed crossed the center line.
A bicyclist is dead and the driver of the vehicle that struck him has been charged. That accident happened a quarter of a mile east of the Walmart in Wallace on Highway 41 around 1:30 this afternoon. The Highway Patrol says 59-year-old Larry Matthews was hit in the traffic lane and thrown off of his bike. Manuel Kennerson is charged with misdemeanor death by motor vehicle. Troopers say the bicyclist was not wearing a helmet and the speed of the van was not a factor in that crash.
Well, a State Bureau of Investigation probe into nude photo sharing among high school students has made its way into Eastern Carolina.
We first told you about this case involving Wake County schools last week. Clayton Bauman spoke with Pitt County school system as well as a former area student who says picture sharing happened at her school. He joins us from outside the Pitt County Board of Education. Clayton?
Dave and Lynette, in addition to Pitt County, students with Edgecombe and Craven County schools are also said to be involved. Now, investigations aside, the sad part is the victims in these cases and the emotional toll it's said to be taking on them, at least according to one former J.H. Rose student. Freshman Amani Rouse works on a paper for her class at PCC. The former J.H. Rose student of 4 years says she can remember high school students sharing naked pictures with each other on cell phones. She says most appeared to shrug the pictures off when shown, but in reality...
Then at the end of the day, people would go back and repost the same picture that they just seen or send it to somebody else or, just show everybody, and I don't understand why.
Rouse says some of the people pictured were from right there at the school. They take it hard?
Some people would. Some people would take it hard. Some people would cry about it. That's why I believe the police are involved in it, because people would report it and tell. So, yeah, it would hurt people's feelings.
And by police, Rouse means the State Bureau of Investigation, who has expanded a probe to Pitt, Craven, and Edgecombe counties that began with students sharing photos at Wake County schools. Pitt County Schools released a statement saying, in part, Pitt County Schools was recently notified about the criminal investigation into the posting of illicit and illegal photos of some students on social media. However, district officials are not aware of any photos that have been taken on school property or with school devices. The school system will continue to work with investigators any way possible as they search for the source of these postings. Detective David Flynn investigates these types of crimes with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. He says parents need to be vigilant when it comes to ever-evolving social media.
There's a new one every day. They trend up and down, back and forth. It just depends on what the kids are using that day. You really have to either be fluent with all the applications, which is almost impossible, or simply take a look at your kids' stuff on a regular basis to make sure they're not doing anything they shouldn't be.
Either school officials or the SBI are saying where the students attend school, and the Greenville Police Department as well as the Pitt County Sheriff's Office are also involved in the investigation, but they can't comment on it because the SBI is lead in the case. Reporting live in Greenville, Clayton Bauman, WITN News.
All right, thanks, Clayton. And distributing nude photos of minors is a felony in North Carolina, but so far no arrests have been made.
Well, 2 high school students were rushed to the hospital today after an apparent overdose. Pitt County School spokesman Brock Letchworth says 911 was called for 2 North Pitt 9th graders just before noon. Letchworth says one student fell asleep in class and couldn't be awakened. The other student was sent to the office after not feeling well. That student passed out in the office. The students told administrators they took a pill of some sort. Their parents were notified and both have been stabilized and are awake at WITN. The Sheriff's Office is also investigating this case.
Onto our weather now tonight. It was a chilly, kind of dreary day across the east today, but the sun will return tomorrow.
I hope so, Marvin, because we have a cold night ahead of us first.
Yeah, skies clear out this evening. Those temperatures are going to plummet by morning, but right now we do have a little bit of a mixed bag still going on here across portions of the coastal area near Swan Quarter, Baber. In fact, I got a call in from the Camp Leach area in Beaufort County indicating actually a little bit of snow mixed in, maybe a little light sleet as well, and of course some light rain farther south. But we'll see that gradually tapering off and pushing on to the east as we head through the evening hours tonight. Overall, the rainfall today, you'll notice, kind of stayed in the southeastern counties and up along the Outer Banks as far north as around the Manteo area, but that'll be clearing out quickly this evening. And what we're going to see in turn is some chilly weather for tomorrow, although by the afternoon we'll begin to warm it up as we have sunshine out there and light winds during the afternoon out of the northwest to west, and so we should reach into the lower 50s at that point, but we will see another cold front swing our way later tomorrow evening, and that will cool us off again for our Friday and Saturday. I'll have more on that coming up in just a bit, Lynette, Dave.
All right, thanks, Marvin. Well, you might not think much about rolling up your sleeves, especially in this weather, but Marines do when they're in uniform.
Yeah, and soon Marines will be able to go sleeves up again. Well, 2.5 years ago, Marines were ordered to go sleeves down year-round in their uniforms known as camis in non-combat areas, even during warm weather and as troops were working. But now the highest ranking Marine in the country is rolling back rules on rolled up sleeves. In part of a letter addressed to sergeants and corporals, General James Amos wrote, quote, "I realize that it's important to you. Sleeves up clearly and visually set us apart," end quote. A Marine veteran in Jacksonville tells WITN the sleeves down rule was not popular.
No one liked it, because if you wear your sleeves down and you wear your sleeves up, you definitely feel a temperature difference. There is a level of comfort that you definitely feel during the summer months.
Marines can start wearing their sleeves up on March 9th as the Corps transitions to warmer weather uniforms.
Police have charged the driver of a pickup truck that plowed into the front of an auto parts store last week. Williamston police charged Charles Hardison of Jamesville with failure to maintain lane control. Hardison's pickup truck ran off West Boulevard last Wednesday afternoon, struck a light pole, then crashed into the front of O'Reilly Auto Parts. A police report says the truck caused an estimated $15,000 in damage to the store. Hardison was not injured, and the report does not indicate why the 72-year-old man ran off the road.
Well, coming up, Cassandra Bell heads to Roanoke Island to show us the other famous colony there that is now being recognized for being a safe place for slaves on the Underground Railroad.
Plus, Billy Weaver is live at Minges Coliseum, where the Lady Pirates have won 26 straight home games. They're hoping to make it 27 tonight. A preview coming up later in sports.